Bethany from Count Your Stitches. I'm not sure if I'm sideways or not, but we're gonna take a, if you can give me just a quick second, I'm just gonna share this on my personal page so we can get this going. Get it out there for everybody to see. They can crochet with us. All right, here we go. Oh, yep, I am sideways. Okay, I can see how I'm sideways. But I think that'll be best for when we're crocheting. I think. Okay, let's see here. Let us share this video. How do I share? I'm gonna share as Bethany. And we're gonna share right now. Here we go. Okay. And this way too, I can kind of see how things look while I'm doing it. That'll be helpful. All right, so we are sideways, but that's okay. All right, so hi everybody. This is Bethany from Count Your Stitches. Welcome back to our second week of crochet lessons. I'm super excited. Again, sorry about the sideways, but it'll make for a better transition later, I think, when we're actually crocheting down here. All right, so now that we're shared, now that we're ready to go, this week we are going to focus on a review of how to do a slip knot. And we're going to focus on a review on how to do a chain stitch, and then we're going to start learning how to do a single crochet and possibly a double crochet stitch. Those are kind of our two basic stitches that'll kind of get you on your way. Like my friend Laura, who I did the picture yesterday, her chain stitch was awesome. She wants to make a baby Afghan, I believe she said. So single crochet and double crochet are definitely going to get her on her way, and hopefully everybody else as well. Scarves and blankets, and those are really easy things to start with. So that's where we're going to start now. So just give me a hot second. I'm going to flip us around, get us on our contraption. I have my 10-pound weight, which holds down my camera while we do this, and we'll get going. Alrighty. I'm going to flip this. All right, and so we're coming down this way. All right. And we put the weight on top. All right, whoops. There we go. Almost there. Forgive me. One day, maybe I'll get like a real tripod system where we can actually do this, but okay. It's so funny. I'm watching this on my computer at the same time, and it is not in real time, and it's kind of scary. All right, so I think we're good. If I crochet here, looks like it. Okay, so today, real quick, I want to show you the yarn we're using. It's one of my favorites, and I'll do a little shout out. So we're using Vanna's Choice, Vanna White, which love, my girl, birthday, share, love her. And I wanted to also show you, so we were talking last week about the back of the yarn. So it tells you the size of the yarn. So again, this is a worsted weight yarn that we're using today. So that's a size 4. And then here it gives you the recommended hook size and the recommend whether you're crocheting or knitting. It's kind of nice. It gives you both. So we're going to go, this actually says a 6mm hook, which is a little bit bigger than I like to use for this. So we're going to go with our 5mm hook again, like we did last week, just to keep it the same. But again, just wanted to show you what I was talking about last week with On the Skein. And again, Vanna's Choice yarn, love it. It's at Joann's. I believe, I don't think it's at Michael's. I think it's only at Joann's. But it's this fantastic green color that I absolutely love. All right, so here we go. Let's do a little review of our slip knot from last week. Oh, I'm getting caught here. All right, so, oh, everybody liked the red, white, and blue nails. Whoop, whoop. I hope everybody had a good 4th of July. I meant to say that earlier, sugar. All right, so, again, hold this however you'd like. Totally personal preference. Again, you can go like this. I think this way has a little bit more stability. And then we're going to review this again. Actually, yeah. Well, let's do a slip knot first, I guess. Yeah, let's do the slip knot first. So again, you kind of lay that over your palm. You bring your short side over, the side that is not connected to your skein. Goodness gracious. You bring that loop down over the short side. You bring that hook right underneath. Grab your 2 ends, pull tightly, and then grab just the long end that's connected to your skein and pull that bad boy up. There you go. So not too loose, not too tight. I'll do it one more time for a review. Lay it out. Grab that short end over the long. Flip that bad boy over. Stick your hook in right there. Hold both and pull again. And we're tight. All right. Now, let's review how we're holding our yarn. So again, palm out. We're going to lay that over. We're going to bring it around the pointer finger. We kind of bend some down. Now, I noticed when I was watching this, my video from last week, that my ring finger kind of stays up here. I know, I guess I never really, it's one of those things you just never really notice. So when I wrap it around, it's kind of only my pinky that stays there. It really doesn't matter. You can do whatever you'd like. But again, so we're going to wrap around that pointer. I'm going to take my middle finger and my thumb, and kind of with that slip knot there, this kind of ends up there too with, you know, just extra support. Just want to make sure everybody can see this. All right, so let us go over that chain stitch again. So you're holding it, remember, not too tight. You want to be able to kind of move your finger a little bit, but again, you do need some tension. You can kind of see that yarn tug a little. All right, so you're going to take your hook, you're going to bring it towards you, underneath that yarn, and then we're going to pull it through that first loop. Now again, remember, I'll show you again, when you're pulling through, you want this hook to turn down, so that way it doesn't get snagged on the top. Like if you don't turn it, it's going to get snagged, it's going to pull. It's not what you need when we're making a fabulous crochet item. So again, we're going to bring that needle toward us, or that hook toward us. We're going to go under the yarn. As we're pulling it through, we are going to turn our hook and bring it through that loop. Now let's do a few of these, get a nice chain going, so that way we can build on this with new stitches. So again, under, turn, and through, under, turn, through, and I kind of, you know, adjusted myself. I bring my fingers up with that chain, under, turn, through, under, turn, through, again, readjusting, bring my fingers up. Oh, it just kind of helps you control it if you keep it that way. So we're going to do under, turn, and through, under, turn, through. All right, let's see. I'm going to do a few more real quick, just so that we have it going. You'll get to this, I promise. You'll get to it. Took me some time, but you will get there. All right. So now that we've got a nice little chain going, all right. Let me just see who we got. Can I see who's watching? I have to figure out how to do that. Wish I could see how I could figure out who's watching. All right. So now let's do a single crochet. So what we're going to do basically is come back. We're going to come back on this row. And in order to do that, we need one stitch to kind of be the turn, kind of the side of the row. You can't just go right back into the stitch you started with. It'll actually, if you go back in, it'll technically take your yarn out and you'll take the loop out. So we need one stitch to be the side of our row. With a single crochet, you guessed it, single, so you only need one. As your side. With a double crochet, you usually use two, depends on the pattern, but anyway, so we need one stitch to be our side. And again, you need it anywhere else, you're going to take your stitch out. So you're going to skip the loop that is closest to the hook. So not the one on the hook, but the one closest to it, which is this bad boy right here. We're going to skip that one, and instead we're going to, before we grab any yarn, we're going to place our hook into, so you can see our loops here, and you've got kind of this top little hole here that we can put our hook through. That's where we're going to go. So we're going to take our hook, before grabbing yarn, we're going to put it through that loop. You can kind of see it go right there. Now we've got two loops. Then we're going to go under our yarn, pull it through, and we're only going to pull it through that first one. Now we have, again, two on here. All right, so that's the first part. Then you're going to go under again, and we're going to pull through both. And that gives you a single crochet. Now let's do that one more time. So again, I'm going to take it out. Again, crochet, super simple to take out. Here we go. All right. So we're going to take our hook. Before we grab any yarn, we're going to go right into that second stitch. So again, here's our first one that's closest right there. The one that is closest to our hook. We don't want to go in that. That'll be our wall. That'll be the first side of our row of single crochet. We're going to go into so technically it's the second stitch from the hook. Going to go into that. Then we're going to go under our yarn, turn that hook, pull through just your first loop, so that when you bring up your hook, you now have 2 stitches or 2 loops on your hook. Then the last step is you take your yarn, you go under, take your hook, wow, whew, take your hook, go under that yarn, turn, and go through both stitches. And then you'll end up with your one just where it's supposed to be. And then that's 1 single crochet, ladies and gentlemen. Nicely done. If you're crocheting with me, nice job. I mean, this is great. And if you're watching this afterwards, you can stop me and pause me and come back and do your thing, and it's going to be awesome. All right, now let's do another one. So we've got another chain. Obviously, we've got a bunch of chains here, but so this is our next one. Again, you can kind of see that little loop that's on top of this pretty little crocheted braid we have here. So you can see where it's supposed to go. So you're going to, again, for a single crochet stitch, put your hook in that loop first, then go under your yarn, twist that hook, bring it through just that first loop only, so that way you have 2 loops on your hook. Then you're going to go under your yarn again, turn that hook, and pull through both. Again, giving you your second single crochet, and you end with only 1 loop on your hook. All right, let's try a third together. We're going to go slow again, and then I will do them a little bit quicker across the rest of the row, so that way you can see what a first row finished will look like. So again, get that yarn held. You're going to place your hook. We're going to our 3rd stitch here. Big tip too, I did not do it here, so gosh, do what I say, not what I do. Count your chain stitches. So here, actually, I could probably do it rather quickly. So we've already done 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We've done 2 single crochets, so that's 16, plus the one that we didn't use is, was that 17? Oh gosh. So basically, the amount of single crochets you're going to have in your row is 1 less than the number of chains you had. This is because that 1 chain at the end is that turning chain, that one that creates the side or that wall of the row. So you chain for a single crochet stitch, you chain 1 more than you want for the number of single crochets. Alrighty, so let's get going. So that's how you can kind of keep track. Counting is pretty important in crocheting. I mean, I don't know how to knit. I'm assuming that counting is probably just as important in knitting as well. But I can tell you it's super important for crocheting. All right, so let's try that again, friends. Here we go. So we're going to go into that 3rd stitch there. I kind of like, shimmy it in there. I use my hand to shimmy it in there if I need to. Then we're going to go under, turn that hook, pull through the first one only. You now have 2. Go under, pull through both loops. All right, and look at that. We're building a single crochet row. Awesome. I'm so happy you guys are doing this with me. It's going to be great. All right, I'm going to kind of slowly-ish go through the rest of these rows. Oops, wrong one, Bethany. There we go. So again, we're going to go in, pull through 1, pull through 2, go in, pull through 1, pull through 2, go in, pull through 1, pull through 2, in, pull through 1, pull through 2. All right, I'm going to do 1 more at a slower pace like this. And now I'm just going to go to town real quick to finish for you guys so that we can get to our 2nd row. It kind of curls up on you when you do a single crochet. It's a little bit of it's a little annoying, but it's kind of fun. Don't forget to comment and like and share this video so we can get it out there. Everybody can teach the world how to crochet. Super exciting. All right, we've got our last one. Don't be scared by it. It's the same thing. You just find where you're supposed to put it in, right about there, right before your slip knot, and get that hook in there, twist around, and pull through 2. Now, we've been talking about having, this is what we're gonna, so I'm just gonna pull this out so you can kind of see. Check that out. You guys have yourself a single crochet row. Love. This color is fantastic. What is it called? Pistachio. Oh, gotta love good pistachio. All right, so we were talking earlier about needing that one crochet stitch on the end as your side, as your wall. We need to continue to do that. So this is what we're going to call a chain one. So at the end of your row, you need to do what's called a chain one. So we all know how to do a chain already, right? That's just, one pull through. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to get our hook, get our yarn situated. We're simply going to go under, pull through, and create one chain. Boom, done, one chain. You just needed to have that side. So again, I'm just going to show you, you just finished your row. Oops, my yarn got a little tight there. We just finished your first row. You need to do a chain one. So you're going to go under, pull through, that's one chain. Chain one, boom, right there. Then we are going to do what's called turn your work. So first we were working on this side before. Now we are going to work back this way. Always right to left. Yes, always right to left. All right, now let's talk about going into our second row here. It's actually a little, in my opinion, a little easier to see where you're supposed to go in now. Your work is technically flat the way you're working on it. You are going to go in underneath. If you hold it up, hopefully you can see this. If you hold it up, you can see the chains on the top of your stitch. Your hook is actually going to go right underneath two of those, right underneath that chain. I hope you can see that. So when it's flat, it's just a simple hole, just like when you were doing it before. But if you turn your work up, you can actually see that you're going under the two loops of that chain, which looks, it looks the same as your original chain, just it has extra stitching underneath it. So that's how you know where to put your first. And again, I find it easier now, just because you have two chains kind of guiding you. It just makes it a lot easier for it to go through there. So we've done our chain one. When we finished our row, we did our chain one. Then we turned our work. That's what it's called, turn your work. And now we're going to do the same thing across the next row. We're going to get into that first hole there. Don't skip. Don't try to go somewhere over here. It's a very natural place for it to go. Don't try to, if you're forcing it, it means it's not the right place. Alrighty. I'm just going to see if we have any comments. Let's quickly see here. Not right now. That's totally fine. All right. So we're going to go into that first space. Again, wrap around, pull through just the first space with your two loops on there. Then we're going to grab some yarn again, yarn over, and pull through both. And there you go. You started your second row of single crochet. Again, you see that hole's pretty easy to find, especially if you kind of stretch it out just a bit there. Guide your hook. Again, you can see those two chains on top. Guide your hook through. Grab your yarn. Bring it through. Just the one. You've got your two loops. And then we turn and we pull through both. And we're just going to keep doing that across the rest of the row. Through that hole. Grab your yarn. Bring it through one. Grab your yarn. Bring it through two. Through the hole. Grab your yarn. Through one hole, and then see the two there, bring that through, and we're just going to continue that until we get towards the end of the row. So let me get to the end of the row with you. Alrighty, almost there. Of course I forget to count, but hopefully we have the right amount of stitches. I can't tell you how many times when I was first learning how to crochet, I mean the crooked scarves, oh my goodness gracious. I mean, just, not, whoops, I don't know what we just did there. Hold on, but good thing about crochet, we just pull that piece out, and we keep it going. All right, but yeah, totally crooked and lost count and all these things. Now, we're at the end, and it looks kind of funky. There isn't as clear of a place to put your hook this time when you're going through. Oh, we need a little bit more yarn here. But I can tell you, just look for that chain again. So if you can see, I hope you can, we still have those 2 loops there that form that chain, that look of a chain. That's where your hook's going to go. So just keep looking for that kind of, that little braided chain there. That's where your hook goes. It's not, you don't have to kind of, again, if you're trying to shove it somewhere, it's just not, it's not right. Boy, I'm going to get in trouble for things I'm saying here. Always just look for those, that 2-stitch chain braid looking thing, and that is where your hook is going to go. So it may take a little finagling just because you want to make sure you go under both. Whoops, see, just like me. See, look, I've been doing this for, God, 2 decades and it's still, okay, there we go. We're under, same thing. Just pull through the 1, grab again, pull through the 2, and what do we do at the end of a row? I wish, this is where I miss having a class in front of me. We chain 1. So again, we just pulled our last loop through. We're going to chain 1 by going under and just pulling through once. We do that. Then what do? We turn our work. You now have completed 2 rows of single crochet. Excellent job. All right. I am going to do, I think I'm going to go across one more for you to see. And I think, I'm wondering if we should maybe stop here. We're already about 20 minutes in. I'm not sure we'll have quite the time for the double crochet. Maybe I'll do a second lesson this week with the double crochet. I don't know. We have time. I guess we could go. So let's just go single crochet across one more time so you can see how it keeps going. Remember, just that hole is pretty easy to find. Single crochet is nice. It's a nice tight stitch. It holds together. You usually use it a lot for when you're making stuffed animals and things, because the stuffing won't come out, because again, it's a nice tight stitch. I enjoy a single crochet. It looks great. But if I am trying to work up a scarf or a blanket or something that's just a little bit bigger, I usually use a double crochet stitch. We also have there's a triple crochet stitch. There's a half. Oh, okay. Again, looks daunting, right? You're like, what do I do? Right at the end. See, look it. You can still see those 2 chains. These 2 right here. Go right underneath them. Again, it might take a little finagling, but it's certainly not a shove. It's a finagle. All right, grab that. Same as before. Chain 1 and turn our work. It looks really nice. But again, yeah, so when I'm doing something that's a little bit more substantial, like a scarf or even a hat or just something that doesn't need to be as tight, a double crochet or a half double crochet, which we'll learn that later, is definitely the better option. All right, I think we can go into a double crochet real quick because it's actually not that much different. It's just adding one more loop. So I'm just going to undo some yarn here. All right, here we go. I think you guys are ready for this. I was talking earlier about the sides and how when you do a single crochet, you only need 1 chain stitch on that side. When you're doing a double crochet, it's really recommended that you have 2. So I'm going to go back to where I'm going to pretend we just finished our last row, let's say, of double crochet. Let's pretend here. And in order to start your next round of double crochet, you need to chain 2. So what we're going to do is chain 1, and just going to do it one more time. So now you have 2 kind of loose chains here. That's just going to give you that nice wall to keep your work nice and even. The other key component of doing a double crochet is if you're doing it from your original chain. We started in our 2nd chain from the hook doing our single crochets. When you're doing a double crochet, you start in the 3rd chain from the hook. I will do that next time when we do a review, because I'll also teach maybe the half double crochet at that point. So now that we have our 2 chains to start our double crochet row, because I know some people are itching to get the double crochet and get some projects started, so I want to get this going, we're going to turn our work. So we've got 2 chains, we turned our work. So now, instead of going directly into this hole here, before we do it, we're going to grab some yarn. So, simple. Go under. Just grab some yarn, get some yarn on there, just 1 loop. So now look, you kind of have 2 loops, if you will. Then you go into the hole. When you come out of the hole, just like before, grab, just bring through the 1. When you come up, you're now going to have 3 loops on your hook. All right? So, we're going to now take some yarn. Yarn over is what it's called. We're only going to pull through the first 2 loops. Alrighty? pull through 1, pull through 2, bring that up, and now we've got our 2 again. Kind of looks like when we single crocheted. Now you need to pull through those 2. So basically you're kind of doing it, so it's called a double crochet, right? So basically you're doing 2 single crochets. So you grab yarn at the beginning, so you just kind of go under, grab some yarn, so that way you're able to have enough loops to do a single crochet twice, essentially. So you grab that yarn by just going under, grabbing that yarn. We're going to then go through the chain looking thing there, right? Go through those 2 loops, grab your yarn, bring it up. Now you have 3 loops. Bring it through the first 2. Now you have 2 loops, and bring it through those 2, and you have 1. So see, this stitch is taller than your other. So actually, and obviously, because it's single crochet versus double crochet, it really is kind of double. So 1 stitch of double crochet is almost, it actually is, because this is 3 single crochet rows. So this space from here to here is basically the same as this. So it just gives you more, but it's a much looser stitch. So let's do that again together. So get all the yarn situated. We are going to grab some yarn, go through that first, that hole right there, grab some more yarn, bring it up through just that 1. You've got 3 loops on your hook. Grab some yarn, bring it through 2 of them. Now you have 2 loops on your hook. Grab some yarn, bring it through the other 2. All right, we'll try that again. We're going to go across the whole roll so you can kind of see the difference. So grab some yarn through the hole, grab some yarn, bring it up. Now you have 3. Grab some yarn, bring it through 2 loops, grab some yarn, bring it through 2 loops. Got you 1 left. All right, grab some yarn through the hole. Grab your yarn, now you've got 3 loops. Grab the yarn through 2, grab the yarn through 2. We're just going to keep going in this motion, through 2, through 2, oops, yarn through the hole, bring the yarn up through the hole, 3 loops, through 2, through 2. And we're just going to continue this as we go. Again, a double crochet is great for working up a project that is a little bit bigger, because it gives you double the space, you know. It's not, it's not too much more complicated. It's the same basic stitches. You just do 2 of them essentially. Again, so we're going to yarn over, grab that yarn, go through, grab that yarn, bring it up. You've got 3 on your hook. Grab and pull through 2, grab and pull through 2. I'm going to finish this up. We're going to get to the end of the row so we can talk about, again, where to put your hook, because that is definitely the trickiest part. And again, you'll get used to this. My work kind of ends up turning on me. It's just natural how mine goes. All right, so we're at the end. Last one. We are simply just, again, going to look for that little chain there, that little chain braid. So we're going to grab our yarn first because we're doing double. We're going to go through right where that little chain is. Make sure you got underneath both. Grab your yarn. Same thing as before. Through 2, through 2. But again, since we are doing a double crochet, we need a chain 2 at the end. Double crochet, 2, right? Got to make that tall wall on the sides. We're going to go through once, through twice, and we turn our work. So it is very clear and easy to see the difference between the double crochet and the single crochet. I mean, literally, 3 rows of single crochet are pretty much the same height as 1 double crochet. But you can see the double crochet is a lot looser, right? I can't do that here, right? There's a lot tighter of a stitch underneath here than it is here, a lot looser. Again, great for hats, scarves, blankets. I'm actually going to be making a baby blanket soon for someone having a baby, obviously, and I'm going to use the double crochet for that. And I can actually show you that along the way. I'm also making an elephant right now for someone else having a baby, and that's that's all single crochet, but we're crocheting it around. We'll get to that later. Crocheting it around is different, but the same. I don't know. It all builds off the same thing, right? But anyway, so that's your double crochet and your single crochet. I don't want to keep you all too long, and I don't want to make this too cumbersome to have to go back through. But those are our basics for today. Our single crochet, our double crochet. I know that it looks like it's flaring out this way. I promise it's not. It's just because my chain was a little bit too tight. And also, single crochet, double crochet, you're not really, when you do it like this, it's going to look a little funky, but it'll come back in, and don't worry, it'll even itself out. The most important thing is that you're always putting it in the right stitches on the end, and you see those nice straight ends. Again, always just look for that little chain there, little chain braid when you're looking at where to put your hook, right? Boom, always right underneath those two little chain braids. Nice and easy, even at the end. It's there. You just have to find it and get your hook through it. Alrighty? So, let me flip back around here so I can say goodbye to y'all. Whoa, there we go. Alright. It's telling me to rotate my phone. I know. I got to figure out how to make this work a little bit better. And we're going to rotate this so you can see me. Hi! Alright, so that is everything for today. We did our lovely double crochet and single crochet. I hope you guys had a good time. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me a message or comment below. I will answer as many as I can. Some of you were texting me, which is fun. So I'm excited to kind of go along with this journey. Hi, Auntie Annie. My Auntie Annie said she was learning how to crochet through this. And hi to everybody else who's watching this. I'm really excited to be on this journey with you guys. Again, any questions, please feel free to let me know. And yeah, we'll be back next week with some more crochet tips and how-tos. Thank you guys so much again. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. And always remember to count your stitches. Bye, guys.